Everyone, this is Vincent Tan speaking. This time I'm going to talk about TOSO split multi-zone reflection cycles on heating mode. And I also provide the corresponding video linkages at the below description area just for your reference. Meanwhile, I provide the corrected subtitle just for your better understanding. Don't forget to turn it on if you need. In this diagram, I put the outdoor unit here inside this frame, and it can connect up to these 4 indoor units. You can also find that inside this indoor unit, there is only the coils and nothing else, right? But in the outdoor unit, we have the compressor, 4-way valve. This is the outdoor coils, and the EXV section, which is the electronic expansion valve, then connect to the outdoor unit. And here is the gas liquid separator. And how the refrigerant flow in heating mode. In this example, let's say this indoor unit A and indoor unit C call for heating. So the refrigerant from the compressor is high pressure and temperature gas. Then it will flow to the indoor unit directly because there's no valve to control here. In other words, there's no valve to stop the refrigerant flow here. And then after it goes into the indoor unit, and then as the fan is operating, it can make heat exchange, which is to release heat. Then it will be from gas to become liquid, but the pressure still high, and it will flow back to the outdoor unit here to make to make the metering, which is from the high pressure to the low pressure. Then it will flow together and to the outdoor unit coil to make heat exchange, which is to absorb heat. Then from liquid become gas or vapor to the gas liquid separator, then to the compressor. And that is for the indoor unit on for heating mode. So you may wondering how about the off indoor unit or the indoor unit in heating mode but already reached the set point. So, and which is just this indoor unit B and indoor unit D, right? And also from this diagram, you can find that there is no valves to control here, either at the indoor unit or the outdoor unit, which means we can send the refrigerant or the refrigerant gas to the indoor unit directly, and then flow back to here. Question: at this off indoor unit, how is EXV open or closed? The question is how will it fully open or fully close? Actually, it will just open a little bit. The reason is the refrigerant still make heat exchange even there's no air blow, because the refrigerant is still hotter or than the indoor bin, so it will release heat. Then more or less it will become the liquid refrigerant when we flow back to the outdoor unit, and then we just make the refrigerant not accumulated here, make this one just open a little bit, just like this. And here is the consequence EXV of the zero capacity required, which is the indoor unit B and indoor unit D will open at a small opening. And the purpose is just make the refrigerant passing through, not accumulating at the indoor unit cycles or indoor unit coils. And if, let's say, this indoor unit B turn for cooling, then the whole system will also turn to the cooling, which is the last call, which is this system will follow the last indoor unit operating mode required. You may ask why this EXV of the indoor unit still need to open a little bit, just like what I expressed. Even we can fully close it, what is the consequence? It is that it will make the refrigerant to fully fill this indoor unit coil. And this indoor unit coil actually is very long, although it's very small in the size, but the length is very long, which means it can contain lots of the refrigerant, and this is stop. But it contains too much refrigerant. What is the consequence? It will overtake the refrigerant of the circuit. Also means this indoor unit A and indoor unit C, which is called for heating, the refrigerant circulation will be not enough, and sooner or later you will find that A and C will become poor heating. And how about in the wrong sequence or the incorrect sequence? In this example, A indoor unit connection, which is the wiring, is okay, but the piping you just connect to the B service valves. How about that? And how the refrigerant flows? And in this case, in the unit A call for heating, the refrigerant from the outdoor unit will flow to here and this one. Because this is call connect to here, so we just offer the refrigerant to here, and then also make the metering here. Then it will flow back to the outdoor unit, and for this part is the same. And how about for the other indoor units? As there's no heating required, so it will just send the refrigerant in, and also the ESV just open a little bit. Just guarantee the refrigerant will not accumulate it at the indoor units. Just like this. And so you can just compare this indoor unit A and indoor unit B. The difference is just the required. This require loss of the refrigerant flow, but just due to the ESV restriction. Because just like what I said, for the off indoor unit, we only allow the ESV to open a little bit. The purpose is just to allow the refrigerant to flow through, not for the metering. And then just due to this one, just due to not enough refrigerant, then the heating effect or the heating amount will not be enough, which is the poor heating a little bit. And here is the summarized indoor unit A. You can find that here the piping is hot or warm, and even you turn on the fans, the air blow out is just a little bit warm. And for the indoor unit B, for this one, also hot, right? Hot or warm, and even you turn on the fan mode, also you cannot judge. And the same as to the indoor unit C and D, both off. Which means in heating mode, it is not that easy to identify whether it is the wrong sequence. This slide is the summary of incorrect sequence installation. Just compare with this correct one and the incorrect one. The difference is just A and B indoor units, the wiring and the piping. And indoor unit A, for the correct, how it feel on the piping and the air supply is both warm. This case here and here is warm. And also for the indoor unit B off, both are warm. And how about for the wrong or the incorrect wiring or the installation? And indoor unit A here, and how about indoor unit B here and here? So the answer is both are warm, and that's why I always say you need to make it to be the cooling mode to identify whether the sequence is correct or not. In heating mode, it is difficult or not that easy to identify whether it is wrong or not. That's all for this sharing. If you still have any other question, suggestion, you can feel free to send me to my email address. Meanwhile, you can also scan this QR code to access the sharing presentation. 明日la próxima. それではまた今度。